Light man. Somebody give me a praise, or give Jesus a praise while I'm fiddling. Is that who sings that? Emadisa. The ones that sing this, go ahead and be praying. The 25th of this month, big celebration, casting crowns amongst others, and it will be a glorious day. While I'm thinking of that, they did ask us to help out with transporting folks with their van. And me and James gladly said we would help out. But me and James need help. I'm going to be there opening up, working. James can't do that all day long. So if you can drive the van, you're just transporting folks to and from. So it won't be that big a deal. Let James know that you can help out. We need help. He can't drive the van all day long. If we get enough help as we should, maybe just a couple hours, you guys can switch off.
Joe had to send us in our bulletin too that it's Jerry and Kathy Hubman's anniversary today.
Kathy Hill. No. You be sure and let them know. Happy anniversary. How many years? And Tanya's birthday. We sang to the baby. Tanya's birthday is Tuesday. So happy birthday, Tanya, Tuesday. This is going to be our invitation, so I'm going to ahead and get this set up. And I'm going to just do what the Lord asks, and with the miracle, I'll shut up when He wants me to shut up. And then it'll be time for you to respond. I can sit up here and preach till I turn blue. The question is, are you going to respond to what God's doing? And something tells me you're going to. I've praised Him in advance. You got your Bibles, turn to Galatians. Anybody have anything before we get started? Everybody got quiet. Those that have been here, we've been doing this for a while now, and it's been good. And actually, what Paul is hammering the gospel now, because they got off the tracks of the gospel. This is folks that he saw their lives transformed. He saw the Lord just working in a mighty way in their churches. And now, at least they'll fuss at me, but these fools have come in. They're fools because they're telling a different gospel, and they ain't but one. So they diverted the gospel, and in so doing, they pulled some beautiful souls, sons and daughters of God, off the tracks of the gospel. He's wooed them away, and now they're just in a place, I'm not going to say of no return, because he's pleading for them to return back to what you know. Return back to what is true. So that kind of leads us. I'm going to begin in 14. Let's stand up while we read God's holy word, and then I'll conclude. We'll finish chapter 5 today. You ready? Say amen. Amen. Chapter 5, beginning in 14, verse 26, or through 26. 14 through 26. All right, I'm reading from the King James. It says, "For all the law is fulfilled in one word." That one word is love. God is love. "But even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself." That's kind of what Betty was hitting on today. When you get opposition, you got folks doing what they shouldn't do to you. We're going to do the right thing. So you're going to do the right thing whether anyone else does or not, because you love Christ so much. 15. "But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not consumed one of another. This I say then," get this, "walk out." Walking with Jesus, walking with Him, walk in the Spirit. Allow the Spirit to guide you. As we like to pray, Lord, lead, guide, direct us. Basically, you're saying the same thing. I mean, what's the difference between lead, guide, and direct? We get a little repetitive in our prayer. Father, help me. Spirit, help me to walk with Jesus, to be led by Jesus. So it says, if you walk in the Spirit, ye shall not fulfill what? The lust of the flesh. That's still alive. When you became a Christian and the Lord transformed you, you became a son, a daughter of the Most High God, we still have a flesh. You still have, now you truly have a battle going on. Okay, let me keep reading. "For the flesh lusteth against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary one to another, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if you be led by the Spirit, you're not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest. You can see the flesh at work, which are these: adultery, fornication is dealing with sexual sins here, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envies, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like. There's many more. But he gives you a few there, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past. Not the first time you're hearing this. That they which do such things shall not what? Inherit the kingdom of God. But, now get this, look what a contrast. But the fruit of the Spirit, what is it? It's love that we just read about at the beginning. It's not only love, it's joy unspeakable. It's a peace unexplainable. It's long-suffering, being willing to go through suffering for one that suffered for us. So, gentleness, being gentle with others, goodness, faith. We see a lot of that in the news today. We see none of that in the news today. I mean, we see a jacked up world. You hurt me, I hurt you worse. You talk about me, I'll talk about you worse. He goes on to add in verse 23, meekness. What is meekness? That is Almighty God's power under control. You're not going to use His power to abuse, hurt another, but you're going to use that to draw others to Him. Temperance. Jesus Christ was the most meek, temperate, good person. This is Him. Against such there is no law. And He didn't need the law. He had fulfilled the law. Verse 24, and they that are Christ have what?
Crucified.
Crucified the flesh with the affections and lust. If we live, not just walk, but live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another. Okay, you may be seated. Now, as you're having your seat, go ahead and let's go back to the left. And I want to show you a struggle. Because you may be sitting here and saying, oh my gosh, I'm a lot of those things. You are. And I am too. And the power of the resurrection can defeat those. We're dead to those, but we got to call on His power to eliminate that. Your flesh is at work. Go to Romans 7. You will see the battle that Paul had. I mean, have you ever seen anyone more like Christ than Paul? Well, guess what? He had some of the same struggles that you're having right now. But he discovered, I can't defeat this. I couldn't save myself, and he realized, I can't sanctify myself. The law couldn't save me, and I would walk down the straight path of the law. There was no one like Saul of Tarsus, and that did not bring his affections to God. In fact, it pushed God away. He's going around destroying Christians. But now that the Lord intervened, saved his nasty soul, now he's still struggling. My gosh, now I'm yours, and all I want to do is please you, but I find myself still pleasing my flesh. I find myself in this battle within that he used to never struggle with until he becomes a Christian. And now suddenly he's a Christian, and there is an inner battle going on, and as I told you last week, it's going on right now with the people. Right now this is happening. Some of that stuff that I just read to you, I mean, that's you don't want to admit it, but you need to admit it and confess it, and the Lord will cleanse that and move you forward. So when we read about sexual sins, and there were several right there at the beginning, I don't think we have to go into any great detail about that. I mean, we live in a world that sex is going to solve everything. I mean, advertisements there. Can you go to Food Line or Walmart about, hey, they're selling a car, and you got some half-naked gal sitting on the car. Why is that? I mean, we have put sex at such a height this should solve anything, but what it has done is caused you problems. You got abortions galore. We've got kids having kids. We have kids going astray. I mean, we really nailed the sex thing here in the 21st year, 2018. We've conquered the sex thing, haven't we? Here in America, we got that. And no, we have made a mess. God says, I've got a better plan. God says, look, I invented sex. God says, I have got, oh wait, what's going to happen with Tommy and Allie? There's going to be some young folks that's going to be checking them out. There are going to be some of their friends that's checking them out. And you know what? They're going to be thinking, I want what they've got. I mean, what this union is going to do is bring them together. That was God's idea. Marriage wasn't man. We've made a mess of it. But God says, you know what? I'm going to bring you guys so close together and so close to me. I mean, he's going to love her soul. That's what he's going to do. He's going to bring her closer to the Lord. And you don't think, folks, you're going to tap into that? I mean, how many of our young folks today are looking at us and these precious little girls are like, God, I can't wait to find the guy that's going to curse me out every day. Never come home. Half the time, don't know where he is. When he's around, I'm scared because I can smell the alcohol in his breath. I can't wait till that day I can step into that abuse. And we wonder why our marriage is messed up today. It's because of us. That was God's idea. His plan is perfect. Mine is not. I'm still learning. Our early years of marriage, she should have left me behind. Yes, I was putting a weight on her that no one could carry. She's supposed to make me happy. She's supposed to feed me and clean my house, and I ain't happy, so it's got to be her fault. That's how foolish I was and how foolish some of you still are. No, I'm due for her now that he's opened my eyes. Not only would I die for her, and I guarantee every husband in here would say, I would die for my wife. What would you live for? What would you clean the house for? Would you be willing to get off the recliner, put the Cheetos aside, and maybe help clean the house for her? Can I get a witness? I mean, seriously, we have got a lot of young punks that have learned how to shave, and suddenly they think they can step into a relationship with another soul. And we wonder why our marriages are lasting a year. Oh my God. I mean, Lord brought two souls to me. Close y'all's ears up. You can't hear that. Brought two souls to me and laid out on the table why they knew they should get married. And it was beautiful. I mean, I'm not a big crier, but I'm like, oh Lord, stop a minute. Let me get the snot out of my nose. 8 weeks later, they're gone. 8 weeks. So the 8 weeks following, I can't even sleep at night. I can't sleep. All I'm doing is praying, Lord, what happened? What happened? I mean, most of the time, I'm hearing after the marriage has been gone for 2 years. I mean, they're still under the same house, but there's been no marriage there for years. And get that phone call pretty regular. Pastor, you need to fix this. Fix this? You've been breaking it for the last 15 years, and suddenly I'm supposed to lay hands on it and say, be fixed. I mean, seriously. I'm hurt inside. I couldn't sleep. I didn't want to eat because I know what could have been. And it was just pushed to the side. Our vows mean nothing. What about your vows to the Lord? The Lord says, really, I'm not looking for your sacrifice, bro. I supply the sacrifice. What I'm looking for is you to believe, surrender, and submit to me, and I'm going to blow you away. I have not seen, ear have not heard, nor entered the heart of man the things he has prepared for you, and for your marriage, for your life, for your kids, for your future. And you don't think there's going to be tears in heaven? We had this conversation a couple Wednesday nights ago. Oh, there's going to be many tears because you're going to see what could have been. If you would have just listened. But we're still in ties. All right, we got a pretty small group here today. You don't think there's some folks looking at stuff on the internet they shouldn't look at? If you don't believe that in this church group here, I'll go ahead and throw you into the foolish category because you're foolish. So now what happened is, well, you know what? The preacher don't know. The deacons don't know. Wife and kids don't even know because they in bed. I do this after they go to bed. But what you looking at? You're looking at a soul that the Lord wants to mold and transform in His image, and you're using it for, 15 minutes of gratification for your flesh. That's exactly what Paul's talking about. Well, I ain't hurting nobody, preacher. Yeah, you are. You're hurting everybody. You are hurting your soul. You're pushing him aside. And if you don't think that affects your spouse and your kids and every relationship you've got, you are wrong. You are dead wrong. So what Paul has done is brought all these things together and says,